Okay. So thank you so much. Thanks for the organizer, Alexander, Patrick, that allowed me to present the project together together. And a big thanks to you, all of you that are, as Alexander was saying, still here to the end, listening actually to the presentation of what is the third project belonging to this NMBP call, as we saw before, that is called Cupido. That stands for Cardio Ultra-Efficient Nanoparticles for Inhalation of Drug Products. So as you can understand from this, what I'm dealing with is our clinical need, unmet clinical need, is cardiovascular disease, which is the first leading cause of death worldwide. There are numbers incredibly high. There are over 17 million people die each year. And this is because it's not the actual drugs are too bad, but the problem, there are a lot of drawbacks with administration of the drug, with the effect of the drug when these are present in the body. And as you can see here, this is just some example of the drawbacks of conventional drug administrations. Is the problem when you give the drug, they go systemic, and the molecule travel around. So there is an unspecific targeting of the drug that not only goes to the heart, but also other problems. So it diffuses to the liver, the kidneys, is subject to degradation. And so the drug is unstable. And in some cases, or most of the cases, when you have to do chronic administration, there's no other way to do this unwanted administration, that is injection, and patient don't like that. So what Cupido was meant for is trying to find a way, of course, this is the problem of side effect. What Cupido was meant to do is found a solution that could be easy, it's able to solve different problems. So compared to the current way of administration delivery, we would like to find a way that is straight to the heart. It would be easy, fast, and easy also for the patients in order to increase the compliance that everybody could actually able to get this treatment. So what we thought was that actually having an inhalation, as we read before from the title, of nanoparticles that could go straight through the respiratory tract, enter the circulation, cross the pulmonary barrier, and going to the heart. So having a really fast and direct direction to the heart. So how do we come here? Well, there is a dark side of the coin. There is always one. And we took it from air pollution. Air pollution constituted from many particulates, and especially these really small particulates, this nanocarrier particulate, they are really bad because it has been associated with a lot of pathological conditions, and of course at the pulmonary side. But recently there's been an increase in literature showing that nanoparticles, these particulates from the air pollution associated with cardiac disease. There are many cases associated with infarct and stroke and so on. So if we have the same coin, you flip it, what we get could be also a bright side of the coin. So if a particle so small can cross from the air to the respiratory tract and reach the systemic, we can also have a nanocarrier that could be safe, biocompatible dehydrated, and loaded with a drug can be directly sent to the heart. And that's what the idea was. So we started from here. So again, if we have this concept, the benefit you can get with this approach compared to the current delivery approach, you can see here is summarized. If you compare to the oral administration, one thing you can come up to your mind is that we avoid the degradation when the compound goes to the gastrointestinal tract, because some compounds are sensitive to the drastic condition you can find in the gastrointestinal tract. And then, as I was saying before, since the passage from here to here is really short, fast, we avoid the first pass metabolism, we might need that with this process, we could have less drug. So lowering the dose they use, you might also reduce the side effect that the biodistribution of the compounds will be mostly direct to the heart. And when you compare oral inhalation to injection, we might have improved stability because different compounds like peptide, when they travel systemic, they are subject to degradation, so they are unstable. And of course, an administration like that compared to injection is painless, less intrusive. This means that patients, we can increase the compliance of patients and stick to the treatment. So our project is based on the use of bio-nanoparticles that are made out of calcium phosphate and citrate. So all elements that are biocompatible, biomimetic, in a process that is self-assembles. And this means with all these processes that are biocompatible, the immunological response for the body is really low or none. And this nanoparticle, there's less than 100 nanometer of size that we already secured, depositing, filing a patent. We already been tested in animals, small animals like mice, large animals like pigs, and we didn't find any alteration at the healthy condition of the heart on the lung. This is matters of electrophysiology, contraction, or respirability. So these nanoparticles are what we're using for loading the heart. And as you can show here with the super resolution microscopy, as we saw from our presentation yesterday, is a really good tool. You can see that actually when we perform this kind of administration through inhalation, the nanoparticles do reach the heart. This is a cardiomyocytes isolated from a mice subject through inhalation of nanoparticles carrying a fluorophore. The nanoparticles do reach the cardiomyocyte and do release a therapeutic compound. And we already have the proof of concept for both biodistribution and therapeutic effect of this approach. So for doing this, what we've done is putting together different partner organizations, both from academia, SME, industry, able to put, having this project in place. So as I say, I am the coordinator, so I belong to the National Research Council of Italy. We are actually 3 different institutes that are collaborating together, bringing together different expertise. It's about the cardiac aspect with drug delivery, people generating the nanomaterial as well as bioelectromagnetism, because together with these calcium phosphate nanoparticles, we also evaluating the possibility to use superplanetic nanoparticles. We have a group from University of Berlin, Charité. They are cardiologists, so they're real player with the patients, but also they are working in with the experimental model of large animals, so the pig. With them, we are performing the experiment with pig. There is another partner involved from the academia. It is Imperial College, and they are experts in the analysis and studying the effect of toxic elements in the lung and nanoparticles. So with them, we studying all the effect of the nanoparticles at the lung levels in vitro model as well as in vivo model to see how the nanoparticles interact and translocate, all the mechanisms associated with translocation of the plasma membrane and the plasma element of the lung. We have an SME here, there is in Italy, they're already active involved in generation of compounds and powder for inhalation of antibiotic and other elements. So with them, we improving the formulation of the drug-loaded nanoparticles for inhalation. And we have a second SME, this is from Greece, that with them we're analyzing more specific details, the biodistribution of the nanoparticles in animals, both small and large, but with different approaches of in vivo imaging. And we got some example yesterday when we went to the bio NAN-ND. We have an additional SME that we involve in the project. They are specialized in something you could say is totally outside of the project, but actually it's really important because those guys are working on electronics and they're generating wearable devices that can be monitored remotely, the activity of the heart and the lung. And we involve these guys because we're introducing these wearable devices to the animal to better monitor the effect of the treatment of the pathology throughout the time we administer the nanoparticles and see how the characteristic, the outcome is. There is, the same time, in order to de-risk the process and see how the nanoparticle could affect the heart and the lung, we also introduce computational group from Norway, from Simula, and help us into analyzing how the nanoparticles flow through the heart, might interact with the heart and the lung, and how this potential accumulation of the nanoparticle in different area can affect the heart function. We have, since this has been mentioned before, this code is an industrial-oriented code, and we had to do a pilot scale-up of the process. We have a company that is involved in the process of large-scale production of the product that, together with a second company from Nemera, they are these three guys together working in the definition of the final product that will be of the project, that is an inhaler for passive inhalation of the nanoparticles. And Nemera, in fact, is among the things relevant for the production, customization of device for inhalation. Altogether, we also have a large company, Sanofi, that is involved in several different aspects. First of all, that we heard many times these days, is in controlling us or helping us, working together on the regulatory aspect, the standardization of all the procedures that are needed for this process, that we could say from the bench to the large scale. So with them, we are performing a really nice study. So we just started in February, so we are early step. But they are following us in every single step we're doing. And they will be involved also experimentally, because a lot of toxicological analysis will be performed by Sanofi. Then we have two last SME, one based in Cambridge for the aspect related to innovation, marketing, and a dissemination from the market point of view of the process. And Ian from Italy, again, is help us for management of the whole project and the dissemination. So altogether, as I say, we are trying to make this project feasible in order to reach the approach, inhalation approach, that would be easy for the treatment of the heart through the generation of this device for inhalation. And as you say, this is one of our mottos. There could be a therapy as simple as breathing. So thanks for your attention. This is my contact in case of you want to reach me. This is the same as the detail of our webpage and the Twitter account. And as I mentioned before, this event here has been really great. You put the wrong presentation. There was a picture, likely we saw it before, with three of us from the NMBP call. And we already interact during these days. We're planning to interact more with the conjunct activity. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Daniele. Thank you. On a pure communication point of view, I think you have by far the greatest title of any project, Cupido for. That's the best. You will understand that we don't have much time for questions, so we should move directly to the talk of Inge from Vito. Oh, sorry.